Hello students, here is the chapter Basic Electricity and Network Theorems. In this chapter, we are going to study about different parameters related with electricity and different types of network theorems we have to study in this chapter. For example, Kirchhoff's current law, Kirchhoff's voltage law, superposition theorem, Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, maximum power transfer theorem, and a detailed concept of electromagnetism. Along with all these, first let's start the basic factors of an electric circuit. So what is electricity, what is current, voltage? You might have already studied all these points in your previous studies, but let's have a revision as first point. What is an electric circuit? So electric circuit is nothing but a closed conductive path which can have first as an energy source from one terminal of energy source through a resistive path again back to another terminal of that energy source. When current flows, then this closed conductive path, it creates an electric circuit. So the electric circuit must possess number one, an energy source. Here it is given as a DC voltage source because the polarities are fixed, one end as positive, other end as negative. So here polarity remains fixed, energy is of stable type. So this is a DC voltage source. So an electric circuit must have an energy source with potential difference. Then there must be a conductive path from one terminal of that energy source to another terminal of that energy source. In between these two terminals, there must be a current limiting component as a resistor. There has to be such wired or resistive connectivity where these 2 points of energy source can be joined. Always remember that from positive battery terminal to negative, there is the conventional current flow. It is considered to be conventional current flow from higher energy to lower energy. And from negative terminal to positive terminal, actually electrons, they flow. So electrons flow, it is nothing but current, flow of electrons, continuous flow of electrons is nothing but current. So here current can also be stated as rate of flow of charge. So what is charge, what is electricity? So these points we have to discuss further. So first about electricity, yes, without electricity, there is no possibility of electronics, AC generator, DC motor, that is water pump, no mobile, no computer, yes. So what is an electricity? Electricity is an invisible force that creates, that generates the effects as heat, light, motion and many other physical effects. So that is the electricity. So what is electric charge? It is a quantity of electricity passing in a given circuit when 1 ampere current is maintained for 1 second, then that unit of electric charge is said to be 1 coulomb. Electric charge चं युनिट काय सांगितलेलं आहे? कुलोम. ते कसं 1 coulomb कसं डिफाइन केलं जाईल? तर त्याच्यासाठी असं सांगितलं जाईल 1 coulomb is a quantity of electricity in a given circuit, means passing in a given circuit when 1 ampere current is maintained for 1 second, then that unit of electric charge, it is nothing but 1 coulomb. Then what is current? Where we use its unit as ampere. So how to define a current? It is the rate of flow of charge. So whenever there is a potential difference between 2 points of 1 volt and if resistance between those 2 points is of 1 ohm, then the rate of flow of charge is nothing but of 1 ampere. Then that current is said to be of 1 ampere. So that is about current. Next, voltage, where always we use the unit as volt. So how to define a voltage? Voltage is nothing but always we say as potential. So what is a potential? Potential is the ability or possibility of doing work. So any charge has the potential to do some work, that is to move another charge either by attraction or repulsion. So whenever there is the possibility of having 1 ampere current flow and the power dissipated is of 1 watt, then always across those two ends there is potential difference of 1 volt. So how to define 1 volt? Whenever those 2 points they make current to flow of 1 ampere and the power dissipation is of 1 watt, then those 2 points they are having potential difference of 1 volt. So this was about what is electric circuit, what is electricity, what is electric charge where its unit is coulomb, what is current, its unit is ampere, voltage where it is the potential difference or it is the potential that shows the possibility of doing work. So any charge has the potential to do work, means to move other charge either by attraction or repulsion. So unit is volt. And what is resistance? Resistance is nothing but the opposing force where the unit is normally used as ohm. Here it is, the sign of ohm. So it is the opposition to current that limits the flow of current. So it is of 1 ohm when the potential difference is of 1 volt and current is maintained for 1 ampere flowing through that conductor. But always remember that the conductor must not be an energy source, that is EMF source. It should not be an energy source. Then that resistance is said to be of 1 ohm. So whenever potential difference is of 1 volt, current is maintained as of 1 ampere. And those two ends, they show that current is flowing through that conductor, and then the conductor has to be always checked that it is not an energy source having EMF. So that was the resistance as with unit ohm. Then what is Ohm's law? Ohm's law states that V is equal to I into R. We know this Ohm's law. V is equal to I into R, where the current is directly proportional to applied voltage. Okay, keeping in mind that resistance is constant, stable, there is no change in resistance path, then the generated current is always proportional to applied voltage. So in this way, here we have to always remember that the current flowing through circuit I is always proportional to applied circuit, provided resistance in the circuit is constant. And what are the requirements for any electric circuit? There must be a source of potential difference, there must be a complete path for current flow from one side of the applied voltage through the external circuit and returning back to other side of that energy source. Number 3, the current path normally has resistance, and the resistance will oppose the current or it may generate heat across it. So like this we have completed how the electrons movement actually occurs from negative to positive. This is called as actual current, but normally we show the conventional current flow, that is from positive battery terminal back to negative battery terminal. Now let's start knowing about the parameters, quantity, the letter symbol and unit used in electric circuit. This table gives us an idea which letter is used for reactance, what is its unit, so what is frequency, what is current, how AC current can be shown, how AC voltage is to be indicated, what is its unit. So here it is the list. So let's start knowing it one by one. First part, voltage has to be indicated. So either AC voltage or DC voltage. In case of AC voltage, a sign as the S letter. Here it's S letter like this. Okay, so it's a mirror image. It can be shown like this. So this is nothing but the sinusoidal pattern, which is always used to show it is an alternating quantity. So that sign here it is used for AC indication, and the letter symbol used is lowercase small e as EMF, small letter E or small v, unit is volt. But for DC voltage, 1 larger line and another smaller line. So along with plus minus markings, it shows either capital E or capital V. Again, unit is the volt. Here polarity remains fixed, but in case of AC, always polarity as well as magnitude keeps on changing. So don't mention here plus or minus sign. And the letter symbol used is E or V, small case, but for DC voltage, capital E or capital V, but unit is the volt. Next, current, AC, DC. Whatever is the current, it is to be shown as only the direction from which point to where the current is moving. And the small letter I is used to indicate AC current, capital I letter is used to indicate DC current. Ampere is its unit. Next is the resistance. Normally we use this symbol, this rectangle shape. So this symbol has to be known to us because in some reference material this symbol may be used, then don't get confused. So that also shows the resistance, letter symbol used is R, unit is ohms. Next is the inductance, which is nothing but the indication of a solenoid, more than one turn of conducting coil, that is the coil, correct, conductor, coil. Here letter symbol used is L, where unit is as Henry, and letter symbol for inductance I, it is not used because I is already used for current indication. So here inductance is denoted by letter capital L, its unit is Henry. Study of components chapter will introduce all these passive components. So capacitance, this is the capacitor symbol. Two lines are parallel, means two metal plates are inside placed that capacitor. These two plates are separated from each other by using insulating material. So the symbol is the basic construction of capacitor, two parallel plates, two lines. But there are two types of capacitor, one as polar electrolytic capacitor and another as non-electrolytic. Anyhow you can connect it in the circuit, but this capacitor is to be connected according to the given polarity. So left hand side plate, here it is positive, that end has to be connected to positive terminal of that circuit part, whereas other plate shows the minus negative sign, so it is to be connected in the circuit as the negative polarity marking. So the letter symbol capacitance C, unit is farad. Next, reactance. Reactance is nothing but resistance, that is the resistance given by capacitor or an inductor. So its letter symbol is X. Always remember reactance is shown by capital letter X. XC, it can be called as capacitive reactance. XC stands for capacitive reactance. And here it shows how capacitor opposes, that is 1 upon 2 pi F into C. Again its unit is ohm, that is capacitive reactance XC. Here letter symbol used for reactance is X, unit is again ohms. Whereas XL, inductive reactance, opposing force given by an inductor. So inductive reactance, it is also given in ohms, where XL can be calculated as 2 into pi into F into L, unit is ohm. So that is inductive reactance. But for reactance, opposing force given by capacitor or an inductor, it is called as the reactance, unit is ohms. Next is the impedance. Again impedance is nothing but total resistance in an AC circuit, means either it will be resistance or the reactance given by capacitor or the reactance offered by an inductor. Altogether, three opposing forces, resistance, XL and XC. All these three opposing forces, they contribute as the impedance, where from A to Z, 26 alphabets, Z letter is preferred. That is altogether total opposing force is Z impedance. Again unit is ohm. How impedance can be calculated if resistor, capacitor, inductor are in series or they are in parallel? So these points can be discussed in AC fundamental chapter, where that point gives an idea what is series RLC, what is parallel RLC, that is series reactive or parallel reactive circuits. In that case, we will have the idea of impedance. Or normally we say that amplifier circuit must have impedance matching, output resistance of the AC circuit part and the input impedance of that load, both should get matched. So that shows impedance matching. Impedance, total opposing force, which is denoted by capital letter Z. Again, it is the opposing force, so unit is ohms. Next, as frequency, there is no such symbol for frequency because number of cycles per second, that is 1 unit of frequency, whereas in the honor of hertz, it is also used as Hz, hertz, where letter symbol used is F, capital F. In this way, these are the basic electrical quantity indications along with symbol, letter symbol and unit. Now, we have to discuss what are the system international units, that is how higher units are considered, how they can be converted into lower units, or how lower unit part can be converted into higher unit. So here it is the point mentioned as relation between system international unit and other fractional or larger units. So first part, as if it is written as 1.2 kilo ohm, kilo, it stands for 10 raised to 3. Next, as capital letter M, here it shows mega, that is 10 raised to 6 as mega unit, mega ohm. Then it shows the higher unit as a giga, 10 raised to 9 giga, and the highest unit is as the tera unit, that is 10 raised to plus 12. So these are higher units, and the fractional or smaller units, they are, here it is, milli, micro, then nano and pico. Millihenry, microfarad, nanosecond, picofarad. Like this, we have to use smaller units. So milli, it is shown by small letter m, whereas mega, it is represented by capital letter as M. So these are the higher units, and here are the smaller units. Micro, this is the sign for micro, nano, small case n, pico, small letter p, where milli stands for 10 raised to minus 3 part, micro 10 raised to minus 6 means 1 upon 10 raised to 6 part, as suppose micro ampere. So here it shows microampere is nothing but 1 upon 10 raised to 6 part of ampere, the smallest part. Nano, that is 10 raised to minus 9. Pico, minus 12 power of 10. In this way, here we have to know how higher units can be converted to lower units and lower units can be converted into higher units. For that, let's solve some examples. Then we will have an idea how to convert. For example, the conversion from higher unit to lower unit. For example, here 1.2 kilo ohm is to be converted into ohm. Then to convert given higher unit to lower unit, always multiply the given parameter by positive power of 10. And when there is the conversion of lower unit to higher unit, then always multiply given quantity by negative power of 10. So lower unit to higher unit. Here it is 1.2 kilo ohm, kilo 10 raised to plus 3. So 1.2 into 10 raised to 3. It shows 1, 2, 3 zeros and adjustment of 1 decimal point, that is 1200 ohm. So 1.2 kilo ohm is nothing but 1200 ohm. So always remember, higher unit to lower unit, it shifts the decimal point towards right because we are going to use lower unit, so the quantity will become larger. जेव्हा आपण हायर युनिट कडून लोअर युनिट मध्ये कन्वर्जन करतो तेव्हा पॉझिटिव्ह पॉवर ऑफ 10 नी मल्टिप्लाय करायचं आणि नेहमी लक्षात ठेवायचं हायर राईट म्हणजे डेसिमल पॉइंट राईट साइडला शिफ्ट होणार म्हणजे पॉझिटिव्ह पॉवर ऑफ 10 नी त्याला मल्टिप्लाय केलं पाहिजे. त्याच्या उलट lower unit to higher unit. For example, 1200 ohm is to be converted into kilo ohm. How it can be done? So, given quantity, it is to be multiplied by negative power of 10. So, here it shows 1200 upon 1000, that becomes 1.2 kilo ohm. Always remember, lower to higher, lower, left, decimal point will shift towards left, lower unit to higher unit. We are going to use higher unit. आपण higher unit वापरणार आहोत, म्हणजे युनिट हायर आहे म्हणजे क्वांटिटी काय होणार, कमी होणार, छोटी होणार. यानुसार 1200 the quantity that we used 1200, but when unit is ohm and when we are going to use kilo ohm, then going to use higher unit, so the quantity gets reduced. So shift the decimal points towards left means multiply the given quantity by negative power of 10. So for that we have to keep practicing. So let's try to practice the conversion, unit conversion from higher unit to lower as well as lower to higher. Here are few examples that we have to practice. Higher unit to lower unit, multiply given quantity by positive power of 10. Always remember, higher unit to lower unit, decimal point has to be shifted towards right, h, right. So 0.33 kilo ohm, it is to be converted into ohm. So that means 0.33 into 10 raised to 3. It becomes 33 and 3 zeros. Adjust decimal digit as, here it shows 330 ohm. So answer is 330 ohm. So that is the first part. Second, 0.47 microfarad to nanofarad. Again, 0.47 into 10 raised to 3. That is 4, 7, 1, 2, 3 zeros. From right side, it becomes the adjustment of decimal point 470 nanofarad. Third one, 5.6 megahertz is to be converted into kilohertz. That is 5.6 into 10 raised to 3. It shows 5, 6 and 3 zeros. Adjust one decimal point. It becomes 5600 kilohertz. So 5600 kilohertz. Like this, we can convert given capacitance value from millifarad to microfarad. Here it is. 0.022 into 10 raised to 3. Difference between milli and micro. Millifarad 10 raised to minus 3 and micro as 10 raised to minus 6. So difference of power 3. So that shows 22 and 3 zeros. So 3 decimal digits. Here it shows 22 microfarad. Then the next part about this example is 0.028 milliampere is to be converted into microampere. So 0.028 into 10 raised to 3, which makes it 28,000 and then 1, 2, 3, that is 28 microampere. Okay, now the sixth example is 0.56 mega ohm to kilo ohm. Again, higher unit to lower unit. Multiply 0.56 by 10 raised to plus 3. So here it shows the adjustment as decimal 2 digits. It shows 560 kilo ohm. Decimal point is shifted towards right. Seventh example, as 0.004 nano henry is to be converted into pico henry. Inductance is to be converted. So here 0.004 into 10 raised to 3, it becomes 4000. Adjust decimal digits as 4. So it becomes 4 pico henry. Next example, to convert the frequency of 2.27 kilohertz into hertz, standard unit hertz. That is 2.27 into 10 raised to 3. It becomes 227 and 3 zeros. Adjust 2 decimal points, that is 2270 hertz. So in this way, we are shifting decimal point towards right because we are converting from higher unit to lower unit. Now 0.12 microampere into nanoampere. Again 0.12 into 10 raised to plus 3. It becomes 1, 2 and 3 zeros at this decimal points 2. Then it is 120 nanoampere. You can practice like this. Then is the last example, 6.25 kilovolt into volt. Again 6.25 into 10 raised to 3. Here it makes 625 into 10 raised to 3. Adjusting 2 decimal digits, the answer in standard unit volt at 6250 volt. So this was the practice session for conversion of higher unit to lower unit. Let's try the second type as lower unit to higher unit. Here as by default we selected first higher unit to lower unit conversion. Once we practice for this as higher to lower unit conversion and from lower unit to higher unit conversion, then we will mix both examples. Then we have to find which is the higher unit, which is the lower unit, and whether it is a lower unit and is to be converted into higher unit. But in a straight way, first we finished higher unit to lower unit conversion. Now we are going to practice the unit conversion from lower to higher. Here are the solved examples. As lower unit, how it gets converted into higher unit. First, 560 kilo ohm is to be converted into mega ohm. So 560 into 10 raised to minus 3. Here it makes 0.56 mega ohm, means decimal point has been shifted 3 digits left. Lower to higher, L left. Higher to lower, right. Okay. So here we shifted the decimal point towards left because we are going to use higher units. So quantity becomes smaller. 2700 microhenry is to be converted into millihenry. That is 2700 into 10 raised to minus 3 means 2700 upon 1000. It becomes 2.7 millihenry. Next 330 millifarad capacitor is to be converted into farad. It makes 330 upon 1000 as 0.33 farad. 470 ohm is to be converted into kilo ohm, means 470 into 10 raised to minus 3 makes it 0.47 kilo ohm. As 360 kilohertz frequency is to be converted into megahertz, multiply 360 by 10 raised to minus 3, it becomes 0.36 megahertz. Next example, 2200 kilo ohm, resistance is shown as 2200 and unit is kilo ohm. Instead, use the proper unit as mega ohm. So it becomes 2200 into 10 raised to minus 3, it becomes 2.2 mega ohm. Next, 420 microfarad capacitance is to be converted into millifarad. Then 420 upon 1000, it becomes 0.42 millifarad. 125 millihenry is to be converted into standard unit henry. It shows 125 into 10 raised to minus 3, it becomes 0.125 henry. Next, microampere current is to be converted into milliampere. So 2800 into 10 raised to minus 3, it makes it 2.8 milliampere current. Next, 4270 volt is to be converted into kilovolt. It becomes 4.27 kilovolt. So like this, we can practice as the mixed units. Let's practice few examples. Here 3300 ohm is to be converted into kilo ohm, means standard unit to higher unit, that is lower to higher. It means multiply 3300 by 10 raised to minus 3. So it shifts decimal point towards left. It becomes 3.3 kilo ohm. Next, 0.05 ampere to microampere, means higher to lower. So here it is, multiply 0.05 by positive power of, here use positive power of 10 at 6 because ampere and microampere, that is 10 raised to minus 6, difference of power of 6. So here it shows how microampere 5 and 6 zeros, but adjust the decimal point as Here it shows 50,000 microampere. Okay, next, as the milliampere is to be converted into microampere, milliampere is to be converted into microampere. Again, higher unit to lower unit. Shift the decimal point towards right. So here it is 0.009 into 10 raised to plus 3. It becomes 9,000. Adjust the decimal points, 9 as microampere. So the answer is 9 microampere. Next one, 0.04 volt is to be converted into millivolt. Again, from higher unit to lower unit. So multiply 0.04 by 10 raised to 3. So here it shows 4,000, 2 decimal points. It becomes 40 millivolt. Next, 560 kilo ohm is to be converted into mega ohm. That is lower unit to higher unit. Shift the decimal point towards left. So 560 into 10 raised to minus 3. It makes it 0.56 mega ohm. So in this way, whenever you are doing calculations, it is always necessary to convert higher unit to lower unit and from lower unit to higher unit. In this way, we had made the concept clear by practicing such examples.